Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. I'm Matt Atchity, that's Christy Lemire, that's Tara McNamara. They are gonna talk about a movie called Let the Sunshine In, a French film with Juliette Binoche. I didn't see it, because I'm that guy.
No, but it is more the target audience for me and Tara, I would say.
Am I the target audience?
Yeah, I think we are. I do think
I think they missed the mark.
So the ever-radiant Juliette Binoche gets to work with yet another French auteur in Claire Denis, and she plays a divorced artist. She's the mother of a 10-year-old girl living in Paris, and basically the movie is about the series of love affairs that she has and how she tries to get involved. She really wants to find true love. She wants to be happy. And each guy is just not right. I mean, it's kind of a romantic comedy, but through this very dark and depressing French prism. Take a look.
Alors moi, à votre place, je me torture surtout pas la tête.
Je suis avec lui, je suis avec lui. Je suis pas avec lui.
Vivez ce que vous avez à vivre. Là, occupez-vous de l'essentiel. Pour l'instant, c'est vous. Ne tombez pas dans les pièges. J'essaie de trouver un beau soleil intérieur. C'est tout ce que je vous demande, comprenez?
I love how Tara is physically cringing at my description of this movie.
Apparently, it's a romantic comedy? I did not get that.
I think it's supposed to be funny, but it's not hitting the beats and the tone of the kind of romantic comedy that we would get in the United States.
Oh, no.
It's a Claire Denis romantic comedy, and so it's like quieter and darker. And
You hated this movie.
Oh, I hated this movie.
Go.
I mean, okay.
Go for it.
This is the most French film that you could get, okay? In fact, I mean, you know, you asked me to watch it. I could only do it last night.
Thank
and
you.
I'm trying to get my kid to bed, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna put it on. But it is a French film, so it might have, it'll probably, some sex. But surely the opening scene. Turned it on, Juliette Binoche is naked, and she's having sex, like real sex, not like, you know, they kind of do today in movies in America. It's like the full-on graphic
You don't
sex.
see penetration. It's not like it's that.
I mean, there's a lot of grunting, a lot of verbiage.
A lot of conversation.
And?
Whether you're satisfied or
Okay.
not.
So very French beginning, and it just continues. So, and she's with a married man. Nobody cares. She has 2 affairs with married men. Nobody cares that they're married. That has no relevance in France.
It's super French.
She's an artist. She drinks coffee out of tiny cups.
This is not a selling point for you?
They use the word bourgeois and proletariat. It's in French with subtitles. It features 2 kinds of French music, French jazz and techno.
And Etta James singing it last. In one of the more powerful moments of the movie, I would say.
It has a surprise cameo from Gerard Depardieu.
Yes, at the very end.
And it's just like so moody, and it's just about having sex. That's all it is. It's just scenes of her having sex with different people while she's depressed.
She's looking for love in all the wrong places.
I'm just like, you know, this to me was one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Wow.
I would have, there's very few movies I have stopped watching or walked out of. This, if I could have walked out of it, I would have walked out of it.
I'm so sorry.
It was so boring. It
I'm
was
so
so
sorry.
painful. I can't believe it has, what is its score on Rotten Tomatoes?
91%.
No way.
It's not my fault. I'm not taking responsibility. It's no longer my fault. I don't have anything to do with that.
So here's what worked for me. I totally appreciate your savaging of it, by the way. That was beautiful. But it worked for me, though, because Juliette Binoche is so radiant. And she does so much so well in such a subtle way with just like the slightest change of her voice or a facial gesture. And because she's kind of all over the place, she has the opportunity to do that quite a bit with each man. With the actor who is much younger than her, for example, played by Nicolas Duvauchelle, who is married, one of her many married lovers, she is figuring out who she is with each person along the way. Right?
Oh my God.
And then realizing, okay, I'm not going to compromise for this person. You are out of here. And so it's her pursuit of like lasting happiness. And it's like trying on different clothes, and they don't necessarily always fit, which gives her the opportunity to be different versions of herself, which I found riveting the whole way through because she's such an exquisite technician, acting-wise. I was so impressed by her.
I'm trying not to throw up.
No, go.
I mean, okay, so she
Cut to
defines
Tara
herself by
laughing at
men.
me.
By men.
Right.
Oh my
But
God.
none of them is a good fit for her, and eventually she figures that out.
So first of all, she's a 10-year-old daughter who we see for a moment. She could care less about her daughter.
She's off at the dad's house. She's at the dad's house.
And they're French.
I mean, no, but then the dad, isn't that the dad who comes over and then she sleeps with them too? And I'm like, where's the daughter? In the car? Like, while
she might have been at school. It was in the daytime.
Oh, I mean, okay. So here's the thing about depression is it's not fun to live through, and it's not fun to be with someone who's depressed. And if we're friends and we love someone, we want to take care of them, but we don't know her. You don't need to. So,
do you think she's depressed?
Damn.
I don't think
she is depressed. She says she's depressed.
I think she's lonely and she's searching.
Or is it merely ennui?
She's depressed, and she is just going from sexual encounter to try and find some fulfillment. And, I mean, at a dime. I mean, there's these guys who are just, every guy is like sleazing all over her. And you're like, you're not going to go for that, are you? Oh, you are. Okay. And I mean, and so quickly, it's just the saddest, most pathetic, disgusting.
Wow.
Like, I hated it. And then at the end of the movie, and I don't want to spoil it, there's no point, is ultimately how I felt.
Maybe that is the point, that there's no point. That you can look all you
There's no
want,
point to
but you have to
depression.
have happiness within yourself, Tara, which is the point you just made. That men are defining her.
Learning
She's
to
gotta figure
love
out-
yourself
With yourself,
is
but
the
you don't
greatest
know.
love of all.
But she's got to figure out that she needs to find happiness within herself. Maybe that's the point of it ultimately. Or maybe the point is there is no point.
Maybe the point is that
We're always searching.
I mean, one thing that really bothered me is like one of the encounters is with this actor where she's meeting him because they have a project. And of course, they have sex instead. But and
He's really
there's
cute.
never any project. Like we see her do like this much art, and it's over. And I was like, if you're depressed, maybe you should throw yourself into your work, or maybe you should like, see your daughter. Maybe you should find other sources of fulfillment. But the other thing is, okay. Every single scene in this film is like an improv experiment. So there's like an improv game where everybody just says the same line back and forth, but with a different tone. So it's like, do you agree? I agree. You agree. I agree. You agree? I agree. And that is exactly, and then at the end, they would have scenes like this, and then she would say, you've said nothing. And I'm like, yes, and we had to watch. Or they'll actually have some action occur, and then afterwards, she'll go tell a friend everything we just watched happen.
Well, she has to hash through it with her best girlfriend. She's got to understand what she's experiencing with all the various men in her life.
Is that good filmmaking to tell you what you just watched happen? Because I feel like it's not.
I know, and that is actually why my number is the number that it is, because a lot of the conversations are very repetitive. And because a lot of them will drag on way longer than they need to, with the actor, especially with the first night that they hook up. And the whole back and forth of like, should I stay? Okay, I want you to stay. I'm not going to stay.
Haven't
Sounds
you
similar
ever
to your
gonna
experience
stay?
watching the movie. Should I keep watching?
Right.
Should I
Haven't
not?
you ever had a friend who is in some toxic relationship and that's all they can talk about, and you're just like,
This is
hitting
her.
your head against a wall, having to listen to them?
That's me talking about Christy.
So,
Is she still here? Why is she still
she's still
here?
with you.
Can she stay? Can she go? No, but I hear you. No, it is like that. Yes, she is the toxic friend. But she has to work through all of her stuff. She's messed up, and by the end, I mean, she's going to see a psychic to figure out what to do with her
you
life.
just gave away
Okay,
what I
so
wasn't
what
going to
are your-
say.
so
but
what are your
yes,
numbers?
About the men. She's only asking about the men.
Right, and but then he might have an ulterior motive of his own.
Because he wants to sleep with her too.
Right.
Like every guy in this
Okay,
film.
so your number, please. I love your number. Please go. What is it?
0.
Okay, I'm saying a 6. And you can have a 0 here. That's fine. I'm happy that you do. So our number's a 3. It's at 91% on the tomato meter.
Not my fault.
So
What? I mean, I can
Apparently
only
we're wrong.
assume that the reviewers saw this in a film festival where all the other films were so bad that when they saw this, they were like, oh.
no, it is a meeting of two titans in Juliette Binoche and Claire Denis, and but apparently it's not everybody's tiny cup
Now
of
I kind of want to
espresso.
see it.
Yeah, maybe you should.
Maybe I should.
Anyway, 91% on the tomato meter is probably New York. I think it's just New York this week and LA next week, and eventually we'll scatter throughout the country to art house cinemas near you that Tara will not be in. Bye.